Close your eyes, Amelia scolded him, feeling mortified. If Javier kept his deep gaze on her while she went on to run the cloth down his thighs, her nerves would crumble before she could finish. Behave, or instead of a nice nurse, you'll get a mean one. The corner of Javier's lips tugged up, and he obediently shut his eyes. She was helping him, after all, so he didn't want to torture her too much. Amelia took a deep breath and steeled herself. Her hand then traveled beneath the blanket, and as she ran the cool towel along his hips, her fingers trembled. She wasn't the only one who found this process daunting. With every caress of her hand, Javier's heart thudded harder in his chest. What kind of remedy was this that the doctor prescribed? He cursed Dr. Marquez in his mind. This felt more akin to foreplay than a medical cure. Had he not suffered enough today? Just then, Amelia moved to his inner thigh and the towel accidentally grazed an intimate part of him. He flinched, and his voice came out hoarse. Rivera, don't touch anything you shouldn't. Amelia's face turned crimson in that instant. Then she opted to weaponize one of her favorite lines against him. What does it matter? It's not like it's something I haven't touched before. Annoyance flickered in his eyes, and she had to bite her tongue to hold back a laugh. She knew she'd regret that slip of the tongue later, but it was fun to throw his own shamelessness back in his face. Eyes closed, she reminded him. He murmured as he closed his eyes again. Such a mean nurse to tease a man when he's vulnerable. However, the second Amelia's hand slid back up his thigh, an unintentional brush of her fingers sent an electric current through his body, and his good hand shot out and grabbed her clumsy fingers firmly. Startled, Amelia lost her balance and nearly toppled onto him before she caught herself with her free hand against the bed. You're going to hurt yourself like this. Worry furrowed her brow as she glared at him. His dark eyes bore into hers with a heat that matched his fever. Are you sure this is how Dr. Marquez taught you to reduce a fever? You think I elected to do this on my own? She replied, flustered. Their proximity made her acutely aware of his scent, a mix of gunpowder, medicine, and his usual amber musk. He squinted at her, muttering to himself. Then why do I feel like my fever's only getting worse? Prince Calderon, she licked her dry lips nervously. If you let go of me, I think we can all call it a day and be done with this. His gaze lingered on her for a moment longer, unreadable and intense, before he slowly released her hand. Amelia quickly pulled back, exhaling heavily as she wiped the sweat from her brow. You should rest. I'll come back later to check your temperature. He replied with a faint, He had spent what little strength he had and soon drifted back into unconsciousness. Amelia gently pulled a blanket over him. Seeing him so weak, worry etched deep lines across her brow. Though she didn't want to admit it, her concern for him ran deeper than she was willing to explore. As the prince slept, Amelia asked a guard to watch over him while she stepped out into the living room and called Max to check on him. How was your test, Mommy? Max's crisp and cheerful voice came through the phone. It was an indication that he hadn't seen the news about the bombing yet, which was good. She'd asked the house staff to keep him away from CNN for tonight. She didn't want Max to worry about his dad. The test went well, she lied, not ready to explain all that happened. I knew it. Mom always does great. Hearing his voice, Amelia felt her gloom lifting. Even though she'd had a tough day, talking to her son made everything seem a little brighter. Max, Mommy has to take care of something tonight, so I won't be home. Will you promise me you'll be a good boy and not give Mr. Grant a hard time?" "Why won't you be home?" Max asked. She glanced back toward Javier's room, her thoughts lingering on the injured man inside. Well, I have a work trip, but you can call me at any time if anything comes up, okay?" Max's soft, slightly sulky voice came through. "Mom, will you miss me? I already miss you, my big star." Her heart filled with warmth. She missed her little moon, too. When she got off the phone with Max, she found her stomach grumbling and padded over to the kitchen. She was happy to find that Victor made sure the place was stocked with groceries and all sorts of fresh fruits and vegetables. Amelia figured that when Javier woke up, he was going to be hungry and in need of sustenance for his body to work on getting strong again. She rummaged through the fridge and pondered over what she could cook for her injured patient. Amelia considered herself a competent chef with some special go-to recipes under her sleeve. But being tasked with catering to the picky prince's palate was a bit intimidating. Would her simple home cooking be up to par with the gourmet meals he was accustomed to? She reminded herself that he didn't have much of an option, considering the situation. So he'd have to make do with whatever she could provide. Amelia concluded whatever she made should be something nutritious, light, and easy to digest. In the end, she settled on cooking a classic pot of chicken noodle soup. She quickly boiled some noodles, chopped up a ton of hearty veggies, and let the ingredients simmer so it would be hot and ready whenever Javier woke up with an appetite. As she tidied up in the kitchen, her phone vibrated with a call from Faith. Amelia had run out of work so unexpectedly, she wasn't sure what reason to give her best friend for her frenzied departure. She took a deep breath before picking up the call. "Girl, what on earth is going on?" Faith's worried voice boomed through the line. "Everyone else has finished the exam. I told Mr. Schultz you got held up and will be right here, but he's getting impatient. Where are you?" For a laundry list of reasons, Amelia couldn't exactly tell Faith that she was at a top-secret recovery house taking care of the severely injured Prince Calderon. When she failed to answer, Faith continued. "Are you really going to ditch this exam after you worked so hard to get this internship? Unless my godson is kidnapped or in the hospital, what could possibly be more important than this?" Faith's scolding made her temples throb, and for a moment, regret bubbled to the surface. She wasn't wrong. The internship was a very competitive one that she beat out hundreds of applicants for. And passing the exam almost guaranteed that they would bring you on as a permanent hire. This wasn't an opportunity to waste. But how could she abandon Javier in this state? If something happened to her son's father, she'd never forgive herself. Faith chimed in again. "Ames, please tell me you're on your way back to the office." Amelia thought for a moment. "Faith, it's complicated. I'm helping a sick friend who needs me. He fell ill and it's serious." Faith was confused. "He? This is for a guy? What guy do you know that's your friend? No offense, but I'm your only friend." "Oh my god, you're seeing someone, aren't you?" "Oh, I knew it. I called it the other day and you totally denied it." Amelia pinched her brow. Her best friend was not going to be easy to pacify. She looked over at Javier's door before continuing. No, I'm not seeing anyone. Not like that. Look, it's a weird, complicated situation, but I'll explain once I can. I just need you to trust me, please. Okay?" She heard a deep exhale on the other line. "You're being super sketchy right now, but okay, I trust you." Amelia let out a small sigh of relief. Then Faith added, "I don't think I can hold Mr. Schultz off for much longer. He said if you're not here in the next hour, you'll lose your window for the exam and be automatically dropped from the internship." Amelia drooped her head. Even if she could leave, could she make it back to the office within the hour? It took much longer than that just to get to this remote recovery house in the middle of nowhere. What's the plan, Amelia? Are you coming back to take the exam today?
To find out what happens next, download the Pocket FM app in the next minute to get free access to all episodes of The Royal Accident for free.